Hello, everybody, and welcome to RollPlay Nebula Jazz. It's season 2, episode 11, the penultimate episode? Question mark! Exclamation point! Interrobang? Hashtag?
Interrobang.
It's like a question mark and an exclamation mark in the same punctuation.
What? There's a name for that?
What's the upside down question mark called?
I
Habla.
can't remember.
Habla Espanol question
Isn't that
mark.
Spanish?
Yeah. No habla where I'm from.
Same with the exclamation point. It's like, boop, flip it.
Yeah, Interrobang's my favorite. It's you can, if you find really old typewriters, sometimes they have an Interrobang key on them. It's like a separate punctuation mark altogether. There you go. Look at that. Welcome to the show. You're learning things. Today, Sam Strippin is brought to us by Coca-Cola and VR Chat. Eventually, Sam will just be like a race car. He'll just look like the motorbike from Akira. It'll be fine.
JP's a race car too. He's just not on camera.
Yeah.
He's the Soylent car.
Is that like a car powered by Soylent?
Yeah, that's what he is.
Hear that, Elon?
Mine's powered by Coca-Cola, which is much closer to gasoline. So I feel like my car is faster.
I mean, you're not a literal car. It's a metaphor.
No, now it's
listen,
cars. Now it's real cars.
Now it's a fucking race.
Somebody out there is powering up Photoshop to draw a picture of Sam and JP as cars, anthropomorphic cars.
Mhm.
We'll
never see them though. They're going on a very special area of the internet. Yeah.
When I asked what the upside down question mark was, JP said that's the Spanish in question. I think it was a play on Inquisition.
Yeah.
But then he said, read my joke. It's funny. So
I didn't notice that. Yes, I can indeed confirm that JP did just scream into the Skype chat, read my joke. It's so funny. It was funny, JP. It was.
It was a funny joke, JP.
You're doing great, buddy. So I wanna start today with Pokket, because I feel like Pokket, we always end the intro bit with you. So I would like to find out, Pokket, what have you been up to? How are you doing?
Oh, just life and stuff. I'm really tired today. I don't know what happened, but like an hour ago, I just decided I was ready for bed, but not, because obviously I can't. So I'm drinking coffee at 8 o'clock at night. That's what I'm doing.
Ladies and gentlemen, sleepy time, Pokket. I wanted to say, Pokket, because I follow you on Instagram.
Yeah.
Your photos have been getting like better and better, which isn't to say they were bad before, but like you're bringing that A game these days, and I'm very impressed. Speaking as a person who is familiar with photography, the thing I find impressive about it is not so much like the costumes, which are great. The cosplay is fantastic. The makeup's great. It's your ability to take photos of yourself.
I was going to say, yeah,
it is a very hard thing to do, and you're killing it.
I'd give it a 9 out of 10. And the reason I give it a 9 out of 10 is because instead the captions suck.
I don't know what to do for captions, okay?
Can I write
you
your
either
captions?
steal song lyrics,
Okay,
or
you know
just
what?
write something that doesn't make sense, and you
Can
put
I
it
write your
down there.
captions from now
I'm
on?
gonna let Jesse.
Jesse's writing captions from now on.
I'm going to your
right?
Instagram right now.
This is how we take you to the next level.
Next level!
You know what? I will hire you to write my captions. I'll send you all the photos in advance, and you just write out the captions for all of them.
Thank you.
And send them to me. I'll do it. I'll do it. We'll take it to the next level. Yeah, I do take all the photos myself, and getting the focus and the lighting and getting all of that. The focus is the hardest thing, honestly.
Yeah, can we talk about that? So like, how do you take, like, if you're taking a photo, what is the setup? Like, do you have a tripod and you do a timer, or like how do you do it?
I do either. I do the timer if I can stay closer to the camera, like I'm doing like more of an upper body and face shot. But if I'm far away, I have a clicker that just
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I finally got that like this month. So I was like, oh my God, my life is so much easier right now. The hardest part is I have to like hide it in my hand because I can't camera it.
Yeah. That's a thing. Like, you can, if you look at people who have taken photos of themselves where it's not just like shoulders up, often there'll be like the Rob Liefeld style, like hand behind something, or like you have your hand in this like long thing.
What's in there?
Yeah. I've learned that also, though. If you keep the same pose, you can actually like get your hand where you want it. Take the photo and then keep it, and just like keep it sort of like that, and point it at the camera, and then pose however you want with your other hand. and then Photoshop the one arm later.
Yeah.
I'm learning all sorts of tricks.
Good
Are you
tricks.
saying that your photos are photoshopped?
Yeah.
I mean, like,
I'm not gonna hide that. I don't put Instagram filters on it. I mean, I just Photoshop it. So.
My life is a lie.
You think those girls that add those more original selfies that they Photoshop their stuff? They just pretend like they don't. So.
I mean, I feel like that's a given. Like if you take a photograph and you don't alter it in any way, shape, or form, it's like, what are you doing with your life? Like, why? It's fine. I'm okay with just flat, colorless, like ugly photos. That's great. It really just shows off the outfit.
I mean, I was watching this documentary of a girl that takes all of her photos from her phone, but even on her phone, she has Photoshop, and she goes back and corrects them.
Yeah.
So she's still, even like people who do food selfies and whatnot, still Photoshop their food selfies.
I had an app, and it was like you're supposed to take a photo, and then it like makes you not have bags and shit under your eyes. So I did it, and then it said error, and now I think it's uninstalled itself from my phone. So it ran.
Error.
It ran.
You are too ugly. We
It
can't
ran
help
from
you.
me. Yeah, it couldn't do it. So
Aw, that's harsh.
my glory days are behind me.
Well, there was that sort of like photo editing app that, remember, it went around for a while and it gave you the like 6 pictures and it was like you as a hot lady.
You as a boy.
Yeah, you as a
an
boy.
old lady.
Yeah.
You
But
as,
really, it was just like a Chinese data phishing app.
yeah.
But everybody was all over it for a really long time.
It made me look like my sister, and then it stole my credit card information. So
Careful what you download, kids. Careful what you download. So depending on your phone, there may also be, if you're looking for like an alternative to the clicker thing, there might also be like a depending on how old the camera is, there might be an app that you can download that'll give you like a live feed of whatever it's looking at. Because my camera does that, and it's crazy useful for doing.
I need to find a clicker that uses timer still, so that way if I need to, I can set the timer and then throw the clicker real quick.
it sounds like so much work.
It is a lot of work.
It is.
Thing.
And that's the thing, right? Is that like, it's one thing you look at these pictures on Pocket's Instagram, and you're like, wow, Pocket looks awesome. But then like, here's another picture of Pocket looking awesome. Here's 7 more pictures. Like, all right, fine. Pocket's just really good at this. But it's a ass busting amount of work to just take one good photo, especially of yourself. So
well, like the last one I posted, it looks like someone actually was taking that photo. And when people actually say that, I'm just like, oh, thank God.
What a compliment. Yeah.
right.
I know
Who's your photographer? And you're like, me, motherfucker. Yeah.
I was
good
explaining how I took one of the photos where I'm sitting on top of the Coke machine that Coke sent. And I explained, like, this is before I had the clicker. I had to set the timer, which is, it only goes to 10 seconds. Set the timer, jump on top of the Coke machine.
And it's a smooth surface, right? The top of that machine.
Yeah. And so there was like so many times, and I was in heels. So there's so many times where I'm like just like the worst pose. And I'm like, I should have just posted one of those. Just to show like 90% of the photos did not turn out. So.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like I saw that photo and I was like, I wonder how many times you just slid right off of it and onto the floor. Like,
there's so many where I'm like still getting up.
I'm really enjoying the image of you clicking to take the picture, like posing and then hitting the button and then throwing it and then and then getting back in a position.
It's
like,
crazy.
oh, shit.
Sometimes I take outside and just around my apartment, or I've gone down to like parks and whatnot, and there's people there, and I just must look like the craziest person, like putting the timer on and then just getting into place, and then walking back up and putting the timer on and going back and getting into place.
in almost all forms of photography, aside from like still photography, your like still life photography, you kind of have to be like, well, I'm gonna look like a goof taking 1,700 photos of whatever, myself in this case, but that's the price you pay for artistic photography.
It's
For
been
beauty.
That's right.
I've been
Pocket.
trying to. I think it's been about like 9 months since I started doing more in depth, trying to do more in depth photos, and I think I've improved a lot just in 9 months. So
Yeah, I agree. Good work. Well, so besides looking hot all day long, what have you been up to?
Oh, I don't.
Games?
Day long. Yeah, I beat Subnautica finally. I synced like 36.
Oh, nice.
To it. So I was the overachiever in Subnautica. I had to explore everything. So still didn't get all the cuttlefish, so I'm really disappointed in myself. But no, it was a lot of fun. I cried when I had to let go of when I had to say farewell to my little cuttlefish.
Oh.
I almost cried. I got really close to crying. That's the only time I was like, what? This is the saddest thing that's ever happened. But yeah, so I finally beat that. That game is really good. I was surprised. So
what lies on the horizon now that you have to give up the depths of the ocean?
I've said this for like the last 3 weeks. Skyrim is next.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. When are you starting Skyrim?
I'm starting Wednesday because I'm taking tomorrow off to work on my Patreon stuff. So I'm starting Wednesday, and who knows when I'll be done. Who knows?
Skyrim? Never, as far as I understand.
I was gonna say,
You'll
I
just
don't
be playing it. You'll become a full-time Skyrim streamer.
I added like 30 new cities, so I mean, it's gonna take me a long time to clear everything, I'm sure.
What kind of character are you gonna be? You gonna be like a wizard? Gonna be a cool wizard? Maybe a fighter guy, sneaky dude?
I've always just really liked being the sneaky assassins. I've always just liked being that. So.
All I really remember about Skyrim, and because I played a sneaky guy too, was finding the guy who teaches you how to pick pockets, and then paying him to teach you, and then stealing your money from him, and then paying him to teach you better, and then stealing your money back, and just doing that forever. And and he just stands there as you siphon money through him.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Wasn't rogue shit like hella broken because you could get like 1,000 damage multiplier on a backstab or something and just one shot a dragon?
Well, you could do that, but the last time I played through, my game bugged out when I don't think I was even halfway through the story. My game bugged out and it kept crashing every time I opened my inventory. But I was an archer and I got an add-on that made it to where when you hit a certain level, everything became harder to kill. You could no longer one-shot anything. So it made the game harder for archers, so they couldn't just go around one-shotting everybody.
That strikes me as a Bethesda problem, because Fallout usually feels like that too. You get to a point where you're like, well, old sniper rifle here and me, we're just gonna bloop, you're dead. Game's over. Yeah. It's a sort of a brute force way to fix that problem, right? To just be like, well, everybody's much more difficult to kill. It's not a good curve, but...
One thing I found, like, last time I played as an archer, I got to the point where I couldn't one-shot people with a bow, even if I got them in sneak. So I would have to use invisible potions to go invisible and then sneak up behind someone and slit their throat instead, if they were, like, really strong.
Yeah, it's an effective way of getting rid of people you don't like.
Yeah.
Fine.
It was a lot of fun.
Have you considered reasoning with them?
You don't reason. You just go in and kill, I thought.
Yeah, that's it's a good question, and one I think maybe based on my experience of playing role-playing games with Pokket, keep that one in mind for the future. There, have you considered reasoning with them? Good advice from Sam, Coca-Cola VR chat Strippin.
Yeah. I'm not gonna take advice from him, Mr. I use my stunt and eat them.
Yeah, but that's that. I try to reason with them first, and then failing that.
Always though.
Not always.
Not always. Sometimes. That's all right. It's okay. It's a sometimes stunt. It's fine. So Sam, are you maxed out on Monster Hunter yet? Are you level 9,000 or whatever? Or are you still killing monsters and earning levels?
I was like, I hit a hunt rank 100 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And then I streamed today, but I was just learning all of the weapons I haven't touched before. But I'm tapering off. I think I'm tapering off. I'm gonna play some Dragon Ball Fighter Z tomorrow or something. So I'm gonna taper off and
cool.
just play it more casually now that I've.
Yeah, you don't want to try and go cold turkey. That'll fuck you up. You gotta.
I've done every optional quest. I have like every piece of armor. Like there's nothing left for me to do. The only thing I had left to do was there was a special quest at Hunter Rank 100 that was hyped up, and it fucking sucked. It was terrible. If you're watching this and you're trying to get to Hunter Rank 100 for that special quest, it's just a quest you've done before. It sucks. Don't do it.
Sam literally like casually did it by himself and was like, well, I guess I fucking did that. It's like, oh God.
They like
It wasn't
the
even
quest is
hard
like-
for him.
The quest is like fight all the elder dragons at once, and I'm like, this is gonna be amazing. They're all just gonna be ripping each other's heads off. And then you go in and you like one of them won't spawn until you kill the first one, and they will have reduced health to make the quest more doable. And I was like, oh, this is lame-o.
So it's like some end of Mega Man shit where you're just like,
Yeah, it is.
all right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
to be
well-
fair, Capcom maybe doesn't have that many tricks in their bag of game design ideas.
Yeah. And now they
So-
call me the Sapphire Star because I shine brighter than the monsters.
Well, I'm very proud of you.
I don't know if that was a translation error or they just couldn't think of a cool name to give me, but now I'm a Sapphire Star.
I think that's a pretty cool name.
The
I think
Sapphire Star?
cool. Yeah, I think it's great.
I've never worn blue though, like not once in the game.
Yeah, they don't care about that. Blue is
Yeah,
their
no,
favorite
they
color.
don't.
It's not about you. It's not about you.
You're right.
Jesse, you've been living that streamer life. I've been seeing your go lives. I've been seeing you streaming the games. How's it treating you?
Good. Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about my awesome ideas for Pocket's Instagram. All right.
Oh boy, I thought you'd need more time, but
He's
okay, if
actually
you're
been
ready,
writing them down.
if you're ready to rip it, let's let's go.
So
Let's go.
obviously you're going to want to go to Instagram.com/pocket_official to
Okay,
get the
give me a
real
second.
deets on this. All right.
Get this,
Okay.
The first one there.
Okay. Yeah,
Right now she has like quotes from
it's
Lana Del Rey.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Pocket.
Yeah, whatever.
Pocket
All right.
official. Okay, here you go. I'm ready.
All right. Yeah. Screw that. Lana Del Rey quotes, that's so 2017. What you need to write is, I buy my pants the same place I upholster my car seats. Boom. Done. Next one.
Okay. All right. Sure. Got it.
Yep.
Next
Right?
one.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Next one. Call the doctor. I bit my lip. Boom. Done. Next one.
Oh, good. JP's got him up here. Nice. Good. That's good. Okay.
Good.
The
I like
next
that one.
The next one, she's like, you got like this flowing purple hair with lights. It says, mine for you is Enchantress caught in a parachute, but like a sexy parachute, right? So that's
Right,
that
in
one.
brackets. You got to put like a
Yeah,
sexy
but like a sexy
okay.
parachute.
Yep. Yep.
The
Okay,
next
good.
one, you're reclining on this chair. I need to buy a bed. Is what this one should be.
Right. Okay. Yep.
Oh man, I was gonna go with "Oops, I fell," but I need to
Yep.
buy a bed also works.
Yeah, it also works.
There's product tie-ins for all of these. Like
Yes.
really merchandising opportunities for each
And
every
then
one.
the last one that I got to 6 days ago on February 6th is, oh dear, what
I'm a
happened to my
furry.
clothes?
Oh no, okay.
Oh dear,
Here.
what happened to my clothes? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
nailed it.
fun. Good.
I was trying to figure out one for the next one. It says pure sass, but I was trying to figure out I wanted to go with Too Fast by Curious, but I felt like that was a bit of a stretch. So I'm trying to like come up with a car/sexy. Look,
I think I've seen that film also. already.
yeah, I have,
I may have
I
seen that.
can do this.
Need for Steed.
Oh, that's why. We should just go into business together, Sam. What are we doing? We should just charge everyone a
people-
fortune and just
you know, people-
only do Instagram.
Yeah, people ask,
That's
why are you ending Nebula Jazz? And the real reason is because we all now work for Pocket, and we're Pocket's marketing team now, and we really need to
can do it.
dedicate this extra time.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not surprised you can come up with captions a lot better than me. You come up with amazing names. And then I'm
I'm
sure it's like 10 minutes.
surprised. I'm surprised that those captions weren't just like nonsense syllables that rhymed.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I mean, one of them could just be sloopin' boopin'. Who knows? Yeah.
Sloobin boobin.
Loopin'
Got it.
boopin'.
Loopin' boopin'. Oh, yep.
So
There
you're giving up the life of internet media star and becoming a Instagram marketer. That's cool.
One of those sounds a
Excited for you.
lot easier. I'm gonna be real with you. One of those sounds real easy.
Mhm. Mhm. I feel that. Well, cool. Congratulations on your new choice of career.
Thank you. Yeah. I figured everything else is superfluous. That is the most important thing right now. Streaming, it's unimportant when compared to hilarious goofs. So,
True.
you're welcome, Internet.
Yeah. Good. Thank you. Doing good work. One day at a time. Well, Dodger, what's new
Yeah.
with you? How are things? How are you
Things are good.
doing? Yeah.
Nothing really new. I managed to kind of by accident play a clicker game called Scream Collector on stream
Yeah,
today for like
accident.
4 hours.
By accident.
Well,
yeah. And
Or
so the thing
I
is now,
I
Chad,
already
every
had it
time
up, but
Every time you see Dodger's eyes wander away from the camera, you know what's going on. It's okay.
I'm not.
It's fine. You don't have to pretend. We
It's
know.
minimized, okay?
I've never
Trying
understood.
to make the spookiest haunted house.
I've never understood those games. I had some folks that make a clicker game be like, "Yo, do you want to like get some stuff and like play our game on your stream and like here's some get you started boxes or whatever." And I was just like, I don't know what do I just click on it? Is that
Yeah.
I just click it and that's the game?
But the best part is if it's a good clicker game, you very quickly hit a point where you technically don't need to click.
Right, you're not
anything
clicking at
anymore.
all.
Yeah, because everything that you've created by clicking is just automatically earning income, and so you just walk away.
Now, is there a way
And then
we
you
can
come back
do that?
and you're like, I have enough money for another black cat for my haunted house. Done.
Is there where we can do that where it's your bank account instead of like a game that means nothing? Can I
Isn't
just
that what
is there a thing where I
Bitcoin farming is? Technically?
Right.
Isn't that what that is?
Yeah, blockchain. That's
Yeah.
a thing, right?
Yeah.
You click it and it makes money for you until it doesn't.
Wasn't that like, remember back in the day, like early 2000s, they always had those things like download this program and you can earn money every time someone clicks, like you click on a website or something. Do you remember that? And it was all scams
Yeah.
and all stupid, but like that's pretty much the same thing.
It was the internet equivalent of the signs that you see on telephone poles that are like earn money from home, $8,000 a week. And you're like, bullshit. If I could earn that much money.
This number.
Yo, real talk. The one that got me though, got everybody because it was fucking genius. It was the one with the ducks that went across the screen, and it was a crosshair, and you had to like shoot the ducks. Fuck, every time they got me.
Oh, the little ad that pops up.
The little ad that
interactive
came
ones?
up, and it
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
shoot the ducks, and they fucking swam across, and as soon as you shot one, it was like, you technically clicked, and it came
Yeah.
up. I had like
Weird
52
flash
ads
ads.
open. I was shooting them ducks. They were smart. That was a smart one. Shoot some ducks.
Shoot some ducks.
Admissions of an internet user. Like which
Shit.
ad got you? What did you
That
click?
shit got me every time.
For me, obviously it was those ads that are like a game for men only, and then it's like a hot fantasy lady with like big elf ears, and there's like a castle in the background, and I'm like, I'm a man. I like games. I'll click on this man game, and then it was totally disappointing.
You mean
There were-
every Ebony
anyone
commercial,
could play it.
Ebony ad was like, I'm waiting, my lord. And it's like this very sexy woman, and you click the game, and you're like, the fuck is this?
It would be like a regular model that they stole off Instagram and then just put in
Yes.
front of a fantasy game. She's wearing normal clothes. Or not a lot of them.
Yeah, and that's the jam. That's it. You
Thank
click,
God
and
we
then
moved past that. There's real porn games.
Well, actually, there was a game I used to play called War Tune, and you literally just built these like soldier dudes, and you fought each other, and just all of it is pretty basic. But the ads for it would be like men only XXX.
right,
And I'm like,
exactly.
there's absolutely nothing like XXX about this at
it
all.
turns out
so
that those
weird.
models are all really aroused by tower defense is the thing.
Exactly.
They
It's
just
like, I just-
Holy shit.
they find it very hot when you build towers to make sure that the ogres cannot reach your gate.
Sounds
Find you
like
a freak
Pokket just
leg.
enjoyed Defiance when she saw like a men only. She was like, I'm
no,
going.
I never seen the ads
This
before.
is the forbidden fruit right here. I'm going.
I'd never
I wonder
seen
what
the ads
this
before,
is.
and then I saw them one time, and it made me embarrassed that I actually played the game. And I'm like, oh my god, if I tell people I play this, they're gonna think I'm playing like this porn game for men.
I just envisioned
Got
I
it.
envisioned Pocket sitting
Porn
there with
for men.
Pocket sitting there with your phone in your hand, seeing that ad come up, and then Rage Against the Machine starts playing in the background, and you're just like, ha! And you press the button, and then everybody knows you're playing a pervy game. And it said
Got it.
right on it, it's for men only. Pocket, why
Yeah.
did you click?
Men only. Porn game. Vaginas everywhere.
How dare
Exactly.
you assume my gender?
Men do love that when it's just disembodied body parts all over the place. Listen, I'm a
Yeah,
man.
you have to guard the tower of your dickle with vaginas. That's the game.
Hold up.
Yeah. Yes. Do you need me to pitch this more? Because I can.
I think you do. I think you should. JP's not here to stop us. What exactly is the Tower of Dickhole? Is it a magical tower? Where does it take place?
Oh, I wasn't imagining a tower because like a dick is
There it
already
is.
like kind of a phallus.
That's what I
Oh, we're done. Oh, bye.
Thanks for going, everybody.
Somebody asked why I'm not a game designer. Thank you for seeing the beauty in my brain.
I mean, that was the ultimate thing about those ads, right? Was that the ad was always much more aggressively like alluring in that way. And then you actually look at these games and they're all the same. Honestly, though, I feel like it's mean of us to be taking shots at DJ Wheat's favorite games with him not here. So we'll leave the mobile scorn for now. But yeah, seriously, bad internet ads. Cool. Well, weigh in. Comment. What is your favorite terrible shit ad on the internet that got you when you accidentally clicked it on purpose? Because you have one. I know, chat. I know you do. I see you. Man, we need to get into some clickbait ads for these shows. We'll make a really raunchy Nebula Jazz ad. Nebula Jazz for men only. XXX, and it'll be like Eugene with a bikini on. It'll be fucking great.
Oh, I was imagining us like taking footage from an actual porno, but then replacing the face with Mel Gibson.
I'm into it. I'm gonna make. We're just. It's fine. We'll just go ahead and
Looking for a sex bot of your very own.
Oh, wish you had a Basil to call your own. Click here. Now.
I don't know if Mel Gibson would appreciate that.
Don't worry about it, Mel.
If I went through my whole life worrying about what Mel Gibson thought, I would never get anything accomplished. So I would never get anything done. So it's fine. It's fine. Let's play some Nebula Jazz. We've only got so much space left to explore. And before we get into the business, before we start doing the thing, I figure it's time for a significant milestone. I think it's reasonable that we milestone this shit because, at the end of the last episode, some of you defeated an Agaran warlord. Others of you were punched into unconsciousness. Both things are good and worth a milestone. Let's talk about what a significant milestone means for our characters. So a significant milestone will allow you to, if you have a severe consequence that's been around at least 2 sessions, you can clear it. So a severe consequence in this case is, I believe, the middle one. Let me double check for you. This is important for Basil and Rex because, the two of you have some consequential shit going on. Severe is your big one. So tentacle trauma, Rex, you're free. Your tentacle trauma evaporates. Basil, you were stuck with penny saved, penny earned because you just got it last session.
I've earned it. Don't worry, I know.
So, old Rex, you are consequence free now, my friend.
I mean,
you're ready.
I think you only used it against me once.
Yeah, but now you don't have to worry about it's the more important thing is that box is freed up for you to take that hit again if you need to.
Yes, for Basil to I don't know who did it, but
for an NPC, a totally non-Basil related situation.
Absolutely.
So you're ready to go. So that's one thing that happens as a result of the significant milestone. Also, everyone can choose one of your approaches and raise its value by 1.
Oh my god.
Done.
Yeah, so you can choose one of your approaches and either shore up a weaker approach or improve an already good one. So there's that. That's good. JP, sorry, you have to update the overlays. And then you also get one of these benefits, one of these 4 things. So you can switch the rating of any 2 approaches. You can rename one of your aspects as long as it's not your high concept. You can exchange one of your stunts for a different stunt, or you can add another stunt and adjust your refresh if you don't already have 3. So you can just keep piling those in. So does anybody have any of those things they want to do? Rating switch, rename an aspect, exchange a stunt.
You said we could switch one of the approach or 2 of the approaches, right? I think
you can plus 1. You can plus 1 an approach, and then you can flip flop some of them.
I think I'm gonna switch my quick with my careful to make careful 2 instead.
Okay.
Because I usually don't. I'm never quick. I'm always trying to be careful or clever or flashy.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I added a 3rd stunt at the end of last session, but I'm assuming that we can just make that the stunt that I get for this.
Yeah, so remember, you're allowed up to 3 stunts regardless.
Right.
This would allow you to take a 4th one at the cost of one of your refresh points.
Okay.
This will allow you a 4th stunt. That's like what we did with Rex in the first season.
Yeah.
Or you can look at an aspect that you have and you're like, that doesn't fit anymore. I'm gonna change that. Also, like this is a good time where if you don't have all of your stunts or your aspects filled out, now is a good time based on kind of what's happening. So like for example,
so we should have our core aspect, our trouble, and then how many other ones beyond that? We can have 2 more.
You started with 3 total, but there's slots for 2 more, so you can have up to 5 aspects.
2 more.
Yeah.
So all right, yeah. To clarify, last episode I added a stunt for chat. Odd Rex has taken as many punches as he's thrown, but always makes the last one count. When 2 stress boxes are filled, he gets +2 to forceful rolls.
Ooh, that's a smart one.
And the aspect to go along with that is glutton for punishment, because Rex has been getting his ass kicked pretty much every episode for 10 episodes.
Yes, that's
So
true.
they're the 2
it goes
additions
good with
for
the hunger and the gluttony. It's a good that's a good aspect. Yep. Yeah, I dig it. Cool. Okay. So Pokket, you want to switch? You've switched 2 out. Did you give a +1 to something?
Yeah, I switched out my careful to make it +2, and then my quick 1, and then I gave a point to careful, so now it's 3. Because I usually roll clever or careful. I never really roll.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's a good call. So this is reflecting that Luna has seen the chaos of the universe and now handles it with slightly more care than before.
Which makes sense with her aspects as well.
Right. Yeah, totally. Okay. All right. So that's a swap and an update. Jesse, do you want to change any of you're going to get a +1 to one thing. So what do you want to do?
Sneaky is getting a +1 because apparently I use that for some reason a lot. And and I am changing if I could kill you and everyone you know to everything sucks. Basil has been beaten down by life and he's done. And the lethal weapon ability has been adjusted to too old for this shit. Life has beaten Basil down. When acting without concern for his own welfare, Basil gains +2 attacking instead of when it was before it was lethal weapon. I gain +2 attacking when I use clever. So this time, instead of being clever, it's just like when he doesn't care anymore. And he acts against his own nature to kill all of you. When he just doesn't care anymore, he gets +2.
Okay. So it's still, as a stunt, it still needs to be tied to one of your approaches.
Right.
It's when you attack with what? Forceful, clever?
When attacking with...
Flashy?
I don't know that I want anything to be flashy. Let's do
Sneaky is sly, right? It kind of
sneaky is deceptive.
Your theme of betrayal.
Are we allowed to switch stuff? Are we allowed to switch
you're allowed to switch 2 stats.
So you can switch the ratings of any 2 approaches. You can rename an aspect, exchange a stunt for a different stunt, choose a new stunt. But also, if you have less than 5 aspects, you can always just take another one anytime until you fill all 5 slots.
Oh, easy. I want to do forceful.
Okay. All right. So whenever you're acting, it's a good pair with what we just learned about Rex too, because Rex is glutton for punishment, who gets a bonus when he's already beat up, and now you're like, everything sucks, and I'm not going to worry about taking care of myself. Right. So whenever you attack forcefully, at the risk of your own well-being, I like it.
And I like that my forceful is 0, and I was going to change it, but I realized I don't want to, because his forceful sucks so bad that. It's like, here, have a +2 because you're never going to win this.
Perfect. I'm into it.
Great.
All right. And then, Dodger, do you want to make some changes to Artemis?
I added my extra point to quick because I still just use quick for everything. So quick is now at 4. I added an aspect, and tell me if this makes sense. I added an aspect called More Than I Bargained For. Referencing the fact that, like, she's now being thrown into situations where everybody's like, no, you're important. And she's like, I'm not though. Right. And I'm trying to come up with a stunt that would also help in those situations to kind of pair with that idea. Something starting with like, because everyone expects a lot out of me, something.
Okay. So the aspect, more than I bargained for, is good because it shows that you can invoke it whenever Artemis is in over her head, which happens quite a lot, and I think that's good. We can compel it to turn a situation that seems like you have it under control into more than you bargained for. To be like, yeah, you thought there were only 3 guys. Watch out, Han Solo. There's 20 stormtroopers.
No.
Yeah. So that's good. That's a good aspect. I can see good uses for both of them. And then for your stunt, what do you? So are you thinking about a +2 or a once per session kind of reward for the stunt?
I don't know. I don't know what would be most beneficial, really. Like a once per session needs to be something really powerful, right? Whereas a +2 can be something a bit more chill.
It doesn't have to. It's just like a way you break the rules or like a narrative thing that you can make happen. So what do you want to talk to me a little bit about what you want to focus this stunt on?
I guess I just want something that can help me in a situation where I'm backed into a corner and I don't really have anything to like. Maybe I'm out of fate points, or I just have nothing to call on, really.
Okay. Well, tying into Artemis's kind of urchiny nature and then the golden shadow thing, you could say, because of, whatever purpose, right? Because of your upbringing, or because you you always come prepared. You could say once per session, I can like leave a scene without having to justify it, right? You can just basically like ninja vanish. You can Batman your way out of a scene. That's like a once per session.
I love it. Yes, I want that.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So once per session, you're just like, cool, I'm not there anymore. I just go away.
Yeah.
I'm somewhere else.
Cool.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, then yeah, I think I'm good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so everyone can, not necessarily should, but everybody can have 5 aspects, 3 stunts. Sorry, Artemis, did you added to your quick, did you shift any of your approaches around? No, you just kept them as is? Okay. All right, cool. So keeping in mind the like setup of the last bit, right? Before we went into the doing the milestone. What are you going to do with Emperor Darkthrone, right? You knocked him out, and he is at your mercy. So I want to start with that scene, right? Because we saw Artemis seizing control of the ship, right? The Storm of Light's Bane. Essentially belongs to you. They've all sworn fealty to their new captain, Captain Artemis. So I want you, Dodger. I want you to set this first scene, right? Is this like the trial of Emperor Darkthrone?
Oh, wasn't I like gassing everyone?
I mean, that can also be the thing.
Sorry.
Yeah. So like, where do we start in? Because is it in the immediate? Like, are you? I guess maybe we should ask Pokket how much do you want to do this poison gas plan? Are you like,
oh, it's not.
You ready to go?
It's not poison.
It's emotion gas, right?
It's like yeah, emotional hypnosis gas. So
I mean, that's a form of poison.
I mean, it's not gonna kill people maybe unless they like turn into raging monsters, I guess.
Yeah, that's cool. Just let all these Agarans just like feel their feelings really hard. That's fine.
What if they like all these all these like held down like depressed emotions come out? They all start just crying.
Oh, so you're banking on the fact that the anger and the rage of the Agaran people is really just a front for
kind of like how the lizard men were.
And if it's not, they'll kill us and each other.
Yeah, they'll go into a horrific blood frenzy.
Yeah, really.
The whole trip will consume
itself. When you think
itself.
about it, this is a great idea.
I'm in this room. I got a door that I can lock. We're good.
Yeah. What I was gonna say, how I'm like kind of imagining this is that we kind of fade in with Rex waking up. Mm-hmm. Rex waking up in a room, and if that gas is going, maybe there's like alarms and shit happening. And Darkthrone is like in a cell or tied up somewhere while we try to figure out what to do with him. But I wanted to wait for Rex to wake up.
Well, let's go ahead with this gas thing and see what happens, and then we'll go from there.
What could go wrong?
So,
Yeah.
Help me understand what you're thinking. In this, help me figure out what you're doing here. So you're releasing this toxin into the atmosphere systems of the ship.
Yeah.
And your intended goal is that everybody what?
Like deep suppressed feeling, like, because Dark Throne, I think when I saw his photo and I saw like it, he did care. He's not like this hard, like, metal guy. He's actually a big old softy. He's actually a big old, but he's trying not to show it. And all these, so
you want to populate the ship with a gas that strips people down to their core. Like, gets rid of all of the pretense.
Yeah.
Okay, great, good, fantastic.
And he'll turn into a little baby, and then Leviathan will turn into like a raging, like, sexual lesbian for Artemis. And
I think I've seen this episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation. It went great for them. Yeah, it's the weird episode where Wesley Crusher gets super drunk. Let's do it. Let's just fucking do it. Okay, so you're being clever. I'm loath to use that phrase here, but that is the stat you're going to use.
Okay.
And I think what'll happen here is we'll create a sort of scene or ship-wide aspect that I will just apply. If you succeed, I'll just apply to NPCs, but that anyone can compel. It'll be like an aspect everyone has, and anyone can compel anyone else to be like, how about instead you act the way you really are?
Wait, so is this just a truth serum?
Sort of. I mean, I think the impression here is that you can't pretend that you can still lie, but like you can't pretend to be the way you're not. So like if you are trying to be like stoic and calm, but really inside you're screaming silently, then someone can compel you to just be like, no, let's see the real. What are your real feelings like?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So it's kind of a truth serum, but you have to compel it.
It's an emotional truth serum, and you'd spend points to compel someone by way of it. Okay. So let's have you roll clever. We'll say difficulty. You want to affect everyone on the ship. I'm gonna say it's difficulty 4.
Okay.
If you can get it, you'll get a free shot on it. So.
I'm so excited. I hope this works.
And can I use my stunt?
Which is?
I'm clever. I get a +2 and cleverly creating an advantage that involves strange concoctions.
That all of that sounds like an accurate recipe of the situation. We're doing all of those things. And as a result,
this is a strange concoction.
Oh well,
you got 3.
And I'm gonna use my points to say that in this situation, I would say that I could either use the ends justify the means or prepared for failure. Honestly. So.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think this is a case of you being prepared for failure necessarily. I think this is the ends just for. You don't care that you're gonna hit everybody on the ship, right? Like that's the big one. It's your carpet. You're emotionally carpet bombing everybody.
And then I get to see what happens, so I get to study them as I like.
Yeah, how are you protecting? You're not actually, unless you have some other thing. The only way I guess you can protect
Luna's
yourself.
Not afraid. Luna's never she's always showed who she is. So she's always just shown who she is, and she's like, well, I'm not gonna be affected.
Someone just compels you, and you're like, yeah, no, this is how it is. I'm actually. Okay, what should we call this? What should we call this aspect? Oh, I know. Okay, so there's your aspect. And Luna only gets 1 free shot on it, but anyone can use this aspect, including me, to compel the characters to behave how they really are, and can make suggestions, but it's up to everybody else's. So, Luna, is this eerie green gas like coming out of the vents, or is it silent and like Like,
I would
how
say-
obvious is it that something is going on?
Like these guys are using misters to give their like dramatic entrance with fog,
That's
and
true.
so it just looks like it's a part of the fog. If there's like a minor color change, it's not. I would hope it's not noticeable. It's more like just a mist in the fog.
Roll for it. Roll for color change.
Okay. I mean, do you want me to roll for it? I can.
I mean, I think it's fine saying that it's you're co-opting the existing fog system. I think eventually people will start noticing, and someone will go looking for the cause of this problem. But as it is, it starts to just seep into the system. And maybe that's where we begin, right? We start the episode with Luna turning the knobs, introducing her weird emotional honesty gas into the ship, and then we cut to the next scene, this is the one I'll let you set up, Dodger. We cut to the next scene, but we start with the vent, right? And that kind of like hissing in the vent, like little wavy bits coming out, and then we pull back to the room that you're in. What are you gonna do? Well, tell me about the scene. What's the deal?
The scene is after Rex was beat down, and everyone sort of looked to me to know what to do. I had them put Rex in just like one of the little living quarters on a bed, and then had Lord Figglebottom taken to a cell.
Okay.
And tried to very firmly ask for things, but then the second the door was shut and there wasn't anybody in there anymore, I was just like, fuck, I don't know what I'm gonna do, right? And just
so are you? Yeah, where
waiting.
are you now that you're not surrounded by your brand new Agaran servants? Is it just you and Rex, like in
if
environment, or
Basil came with us, then Basil would be there too, but that's up to Jesse.
Basil's there, but my involvement is like, I'm still on a different existence plane right now.
Sure, totally.
Yeah.
So I think the scene would probably start with Rex waking up.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah. So Rex, you come to.
Okay. Do I just see the vents sizzling gas?
No, I don't think you notice that. I think this whole goof is better if no one notices it until after we've seen its effects a few times.
Right.
Okay. All right. Fine.
So
yeah.
you wake up and you're in a room with Artemis. You remember punching and being punched and kicked a lot.
The last thing I remember is Artemis stealing my glorious battle. So
Yes.
yeah. Rex just kind of opens his eyes, looks at Artemis, looks around the room. Where is he?
He's in a cell. You've been asleep for a while. Are you okay?
Yes, physically.
Great. Okay. Well, that's good. I was a little worried.
Can't say I'm not emotionally torn by your betrayal.
Yeah, how did I betray you exactly? It's hard for me to follow.
What are you talking about?
I saved you. He was gonna jump on you, but I jumped on him.
All right, I don't know what this betrayal nonsense is, but I had it.
You used the word betrayal.
No, I
What do
didn't.
you mean you don't know what the What?
Uh-huh.
Did you?
I'm fucking starving. Is there food anywhere? I need to eat.
Let me look around.
I kind of peek outside the door.
Okay. Yeah, there are two guards just standing in attention, and you step out and they kind of like snap to. They don't say anything, but they're like at attention.
We need food in here as soon as possible.
Rex like pushes past you. He's like, "It's fine. Where's the canteen? Give me a canteen or something. Your food's probably shit, but."
And the guard
Punch his arm.
Yeah, the guard sneers. The guard sneers at you, and he says, "We don't take orders from you, Sharkanoid."
Well, the guy you take orders from is in a jail cell, so buck up,
yeah,
sunshine.
And the guard shakes his head, and he says, "We don't serve Emperor Darkthrone anymore."
Oh, really?
I'm
And who do you serve?
And one of the other guards says,
"Oh, I serve you."
The other guard says, our fealty belongs to Captain Artemis," and they both do the Agaran salute.
Rex like double takes at her face. What's this all about then?
Well, so
Give us just a moment. I close the door.
Come back in here.
okay, so all that they know is that their leader was up and fine, and then I jumped on him, and now he's not fine. And
okay. So
I know.
So you stole my.
If I could give it to you, I would.
You stole my moment.
I don't want this ship. You can have
And by
it.
proxy, you stole my ship and my crew. Am I hearing this right, kid?
I didn't do any of this on purpose, okay? I was just trying to help you, and there's this weird thing between Mingasi and Agaran, and they just really, they think I'm really cool. I don't know, and so now I run this ship, and I'm gonna try to not run this ship anymore as soon as possible, but you were blacked out, okay? And Basil is blacked out emotionally, and I don't know where anybody else is.
Are the two of you just having this conversation in front of Basil?
Yeah.
So when you say and Basil's blacked out emotionally, we cut to a shot of Basil. What does Basil look like when we see that?
Just dead-eyed staring at them, watching it go down, but not looking through them, but just
right.
in as an uncomfortably close, not far away, literally in the conversation, but just not in the conversation.
Right. Just standing and staring.
Yeah, right at them.
Okay. Cool. Well, I'd like to offer you a compel, Artemis.
Okay.
I'd like to offer you a compel. I want to compel hopeful Mingasi urchin. And I would like to compel the part of you that is getting a little sick of Rex pushing you around. The part of you that's I'm a Mingasi, and they see something in me that's worth following, and that maybe you push back a little bit because maybe some part of you thinks that you should be in charge of the ship. Now you can say no, certainly, because you got all those fate points.
Right.
But that's the compel. I'd like to compel the Mingasi part of you. This upstart Sharkanoid is pushing you around, and now you have a whole ship at your command. What do you think? Want a fate point?
Sure, I'll take it.
Okay.
Wow. Some kind of compel went down while I was away, I feel.
Yeah, it was definitely a compel that involved you. So sorry.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and show Rex what that compel looks like.
I think it's this sort of feeling starts to grow after he's called me kid a couple times in a row.
Mm.
And I'm just look, okay, Rex, you weren't there, okay? You weren't involved. And somebody had to take control, and they wanted me to take control. All right? They trust me, so why don't you trust me just a little bit, okay? I'm not a little kid all the time, all right? I've been through a lot. So just let me try and make this work, okay? And stop giving me all this shit.
What exactly are you making work? Because you stumbled into this you fucking stumble through life, kid. All right. Where's the canteen? Out of
Find
fucking
it yourself. And I just leave the room.
Right. You both leave the room and then stand in the hallway, unsure of which direction to go or what to do, right?
Yeah,
You storm out, and you definitely don't want to go the same direction, and then just kind of awkwardly and storm off into down two different hallways.
Yeah.
Luna, from your position in whatever room you're squirreled away in, the gas seems to be working. Certainly drama is occurring. So, yep. What do you want to do? right now? Or do you want to stay where you are and kind of observe from a distance, or is it time to go out into the ship and see if you can?
Oh, I'm already out into the ship. I got my notepad out and I'm ready. I'm ready. Just like, I think it takes a little longer than I thought. Even though it's like pretty quick, it still takes longer than I thought it would. So I'm like, I don't know if it's working yet. I'm looking around at everybody. And so now
you're walking down the hallway.
Yeah.
And I think you walk past a room, and you hear the sound of a bunch of people like snapping their fingers. And then you hear someone say, "This next one is called Darkness is my best friend." And you hear someone speaking in one of these rooms, these side rooms.
I'm gonna look in.
And so you peer around the doorway and you look inside, and there's a group of about a dozen Agarans, most of them sitting in chairs, many of them sitting backwards on the chair, and then one Agaran standing on a table holding a black notebook, and the Agaran is like, "My tears are like stars falling into the darkness, vanishing over a horizon of blackness. Truly, the void and my soul are one, for I am of it, and it is within me. My nightmares are sadness, a never-ending sea of tears." And then quiet, and he snaps again. And everybody kind of looks at each other, and they're like, there's a lot of quiet nodding and yeah, what do you do?
All right, it must be working. I think I expected something a little when Luna expected something a little different, maybe she expected the Agarans to do what we said, go into a rage, and the fact that she's in there and it's this emo poetry question mark. She's just like, okay, and she starts writing down notes. Yep, okay, so it worked, but what is going on? And I think I step back out and start walking down the hallway some more towards where I think that the others would be, and yeah.
So you walk by. There's a door to one of the other rooms open. And you're just walking down the hall and kind of observing them. And I think there's an Agaran woman sitting. And actually, everyone on the ship is basically a teenager. I don't think anyone on the ship's older than 20. So there's an Agaran teenager, and she's sitting with books open in her lap, and she's writing in it. And she's like, "Dear diary, yesterday, Lord Naglfar looked at me in the cafeteria. What does it mean? I don't understand these feelings I'm feeling." She's just sitting here writing, and then she looks up at you and just kind of watches you as you come up to her and holds her diary close to her, don't look.
Is she writing, or is she saying this out loud?
She was saying it out loud while she was writing.
And as she pulls it away, I'm like, I can hear you. I point to my long pointy ears. I'm like, I can hear you, right?
And then she scowls at you and holds the book up, and she's like, "The green scientist wouldn't stop looking at me. I hate her so much. I wish she would fall out an airlock. She's also very ugly and stupid." And she's looks up at you.
Damn.
I take out my knife and slit. No, I'm just kidding.
Jesus.
No, I maybe he's in love with you. This person that you speak of that's staring at you. I mean, I am a doctor after all.
I want to compel Luna.
Okay. What aspect would you like to compel?
Luna forgot to wear a gas mask, and she's fallen effects to the stuff herself.
Mm-hmm. So you want to compel just can't fight this feeling anymore for Luna?
I want to compel it that as this woman degrades you in front of you, your lack of confidence that you hide beneath the surface comes up, and you just start crying in front of her.
Would you like to take that fate point, Luna?
I don't think Luna would cry, though.
Okay.
You're getting hit with the truth serum.
I think that her truth would be that she fosters a lot of anger, not sadness.
So you just, I mean, as a counterpoint,
maybe she would cry with anger. Like she
I mean,
would
as a counterpoint, yeah, like because the idea here is just basically the compel is you reveal your inner feelings.
You reveal your inner feelings to this girl.
Yeah, but you know, the suggestion is that they're about your lack of self confidence. But yeah, you can offer a suggestion for how you respond. So
if I cry, but it's out of anger, would that be appropriate, or would you only want out of like sadness?
Anger at what though?
Anger at this girl putting her down. Like she's an angry person. People constantly talk shit about her race. She's a green elf girl. Like
sure.
Not many people.
Sure, break down at this girl. I'm into it.
Okay.
Okay. So what does that look like, Luna? So she's just like, she's still staring at me. I think I might be trapped here forever, looking at her ugly green face and her stupid pointy ears. She looks like an ad. She looks like an ad for a sexually explicit mobile game. Not that part.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I don't even know how to respond to that. I think she just. I just blink for a second. I look at her, and then I just like this overwhelming sense of anger rises up because so many people, like Basil, is hated on the way he looks, even though I think he looks like perfection in male form. And then so many people just like hate the way she looks, hates her race, because I mean they are different and they're not as known. And I think it just like overwhelms her and she can't control it, so she just gets angry, and you see her like tears form in her eyes. And I look at the girl, and then I reach for her diary.
Okay, you want to try and take it from her?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, make a forceful roll.
Okay, this is gonna go good. My forceful 0.
Okay,
One.
you got a 1. Let's see how I do. I got a 2. Okay.
Not too.
So do you want to try?
fair.
Do you want to spend a point, or do you just like she tries to snap it away from you?
No, I'm gonna like let her snap it away.
Okay, yeah. So I think she like pulls it away from you and tries to run off.
I trip her.
Okay.
I trip her as she tries to run past me.
Okay. What's your intent here? You just want to beat her up?
No, I mean I don't want to. Can I reveal my intent?
I mean, the thing is, you're not acting with thought anymore. Like the gas has made it so you can only act with feelings.
As she says it, what I actually like, my end goal was to take it out and rip the page out, and if it failed, I want to like take a syringe out and inject her with what I am. That temporary, that temporary space elf, and then be like, now you know how.
Oh, what do you think? That's like, now who's the green loser?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, now you're ugly too.
Okay, all right. So let's have you make a forceful roll to like wrestle her to the ground and like inject her with the serum.
Okay, this is gonna be great. Yep, a 1 again. Nice. All right.
Okay. All right. No problem. You got it. So she tries to get away, and then you grab her and like tackle her to the floor, and there's a brief scuffle. And we see the shadow on the wall, this red shadow on the wall. And you pull out the syringe, and we just see you like in your silhouette.
See, like you see me above her, and you see me holding the syringe, and I'm like, you just see like these angry tears just pouring down. And she's like, "How dare you? Do you know where I've been? Do you know what I've done?" And I just stab her in the neck with it.
Right. And then as we pan down, we see that your tears are falling off of your face onto your own face. And she's looking up at you like, stop it! Stop! Get off me, you freak! And she pushes you away, and she stands up and she backs into a door, and turns around when she bumps into it, and she sees herself in the viewport, and she like gasps and like brings her hands up to her face, and she's like, "Oh no, and like runs off, leaving her diary lying on the ground. You showed her.
I take the diary and rip out the page.
Yank it out. Okay.
Yeah, and then throw it on the bed. I'm like, bitch. And I just walk away.
Damn.
Fantastic. So now we understand a little bit about Luna's quest to make everyone like her, because no one will make fun of you if they're all you.
It's true. Yo, the logic is sound.
The logic is
that's
sound.
real as fuck.
Sound and terrifying. Terrifying. But
completely not insane.
No, not at all insane. Nope, that's fine. A universe where everyone looks like you. Cool. Okay. And then Luna, you head off.
Yeah.
So Basil, you are alone again, as usual. Artemis and Rex have run off. You know that elsewhere on the ship, the compensator is fully charged and awaiting your orders. What would you like to do?
What is around me right now? Like in my general area, what is here in this room?
Well, Artemis had Rex brought to just one of the ship's cabins. So imagine a hotel had a heavy metal room.
Okay.
That is the kind of room that you are in. There's a bed with spikes on it, and there's like an armoire with spikes up on it, and probably like a little vanity table covered in spikes. And everything is black and either metal or leather.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man. Basil just like goes. I just go for a walk.
Yeah, sure.
I just like leave this room, no one's around, and just begin to walk down the hallways, and not even attempting to go anywhere, just aimlessly walking, which for a android is insane. Like it's not.
Yeah.
Right? Everything has a purpose and everything has logic, and he's just just walking down a corridor.
Going for a stroll. Yeah. Okay. Would you like to roll to like create an aspect about the situation, about the ship,
Sure.
about what's going on? Because that's part of it, right? You're walking around and you're just like checking things out. Yeah. Okay. What do you want to call this? What do you want to call this aspect? Right. This is sort of an opportunity for you to help set the scene of the ship, right? Because we have this chaos gas spreading everywhere.
Right.
But Basil's the only one that's really had a kind of a calm opportunity to like wander around and scope things out.
I know there's got to be. Hold on, I'm gonna nail this. There's got to be something. When Doves Cry is the name of this.
Perfect. All right, great. Okay, so and this is just about like the general state of everyone in the ship, right? Is that most of the Agarans have fallen to like sadness, basically. Like they have a deep emptiness, and they normally they cover it up with all their like angry violence, but it's being revealed now as like there's just like a lot of crying, and like you see a lot of Agarans like holding each other and sobbing, a lot of listening to Morrissey. It's like a whole thing.
Have I picked up on last we saw they were bombarding the hell out of these planets? Has that stopped now because of this situation?
Let's roll this and then we'll see from there. So I think this is going to be just difficulty 2, like careful.
Okay.
That's not a good roll. Now, if you just leave it, it just means you won't get a free shot on it, and I will instead. It's something that I can use.
I definitely don't want to leave it. I'll take it because is it available for everyone? Could everyone use it?
Yeah. You're creating a boost. So what aspect do you want to use to?
Well, I want to use my new everything sucks aspect, where literally everything I see, I'm just like
losers.
Figures. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Losers. Babies. You suck. Yeah. You suck. They suck.
Like, you think you have it bad? Like that kind of insane logic. Like I can't even. The world, everything's just.
It actually kind of works for you because you're just walking around and everybody's just sad and like. This is the like Mad World playing in the background, slow motion.
Oh yeah.
Like, pathetic fallacy. The world around Basil is reflecting his own emotional state. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, do you want to use that to re-roll? Because
I'd like to use it to re-roll.
Yeah. Okay. So go ahead and roll careful again.
Much better.
There you go. Okay. All right. So Basil has created a scene aspect. We'll put these together.
Hopefully, it's of use to all of
When
us.
doves cry. Yeah, so anybody can use a point to activate it. But Basil, Jesse, you have a free shot on it. Yeah, and I think that's the thing. Is just we get the sad, like mopey music walk around, and we just see a lot of just sad Agarans just having a bad time. Yeah, it's messy. It's emotionally messy. And you just find yourself wandering the ship. So
going back to the other issue, have we stopped bombarding that planet? Like, what is the scenario there? What's happening?
So you find yourself, wandering into the ship's like command center, I think, and there's the like gunnery officer, and he's sitting with his head in his hands, and he's just like sobbing, and in front of him the planet's all burning up and broken, and everything's coming apart. I think the ship is pulled back now, so we can see the Dyson sphere hex external shell of the place, and it's just burning up. It's like peeling and frying. And he's just like sobbing at the senseless loss of life. Like, it was so beautiful and I destroyed it. Like weeping into his hands. But the ship is still just like pew, 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 firing at Xanadu.
Basil goes up to the I assume weapons array and just like turns it off.
Yeah, just to kind of walk up to the guy's panel and boop, turn it off.
And then I put my hand on his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And then just stare out at the void of space and the wreckage with him.
Yeah, and he looks up at you and like sniffs and like wipes his eyes, and he says, I always wanted to be a gardener. Like falls back on the desk crying.
Basil sits there, and he there's a shot of Basil staring out into this void, and it seems very much like he too has many regrets about destroying this beautiful sphere with many worlds and stuff inside of it. But in reality, it's him realizing that he'll never destroy anything ever again.
I was gonna say, so here I also have a great compel for you, I think. So sure. You look out and you see a familiar sight, one you haven't seen in a long time, right? You haven't witnessed the destruction of something beautiful from space at this level in a long, long time. And so watching these planets like shrivel up and thinking like, maybe I'll never get to kill anything on this scale again. And I would like to compel your slay the meaty ones, and say that you make yourself feel like just a little bit better by snapping this dude's neck.
Done. Yeah. Done.
Okay. So what does that look like? So the sad music is still playing, and we get this moment where we pan over your face, and we can see the planet kind of burning up in your eyes. Maybe a single robotic tear slides down your misshapen cheek. And and you realize you'll never get to destroy another planet again.
Yeah, Basil. There's a Basil staring out into this void. He sees all this, just this destruction and terror. There's this guy crying behind him who thinks he just is like, I just want to be a gardener and I didn't want to kill anybody. And Basil turns around, and in the background, the song, I'm trying to think of a good song here. The song,
yes.
Nebula Jazz, the show where you have to know every song ever recorded in the 1980s.
I'm going to get this. I don't remember who the, what is that? It's like, I am the warrior. That song, whatever that song is, starts playing in the background. And Basil walks over to him and is just like, it's okay. We don't always get what we want. Except I usually do. And then just snaps the guy's neck.
Yeah, and like a tiny, tiny spark of hope is illuminated by like, you may not be a planet-destroying spaceship anymore, but you can still break a man's neck.
True.
It's the little things that count.
It's true.
And his body spasms a couple of times and then slumps lifelessly on the floor.
Basil sits in his chair and fires the mega cannon, the compensator at the planet.
Right, you deal the finishing blow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we see you press the button, and the outside of the ship with the enormous cannon sticking out of the bottom, humming and glowing, fires just once. Just a burst of red light fires forth from it, and we cut back to see the remains get pierced by this red beam and then like burn up in a. It's not like a Death Star style like spectacular explosion. This is just kind of like, well, beep, just like burns up, kind of unimpressively. And Basil, you see it from the command console with the dead body lying at your feet, slowly cooling, as the ashes of Xanadu burn up in space before you.
Basil lets out the most loudest robotic sigh, and it's just like, mine would look better. And he gets up and walks away, and like walks back through a door back into the hallways, the dark hallways of the ship.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, great. So meanwhile, Artemis, where have you run off to after your spat with Rex?
I just walk. I have no idea what the layout.
Everybody, this is such a good like montage sequence, right? Like everybody just kind of aimlessly wandering the halls, feeling feelings with like soundtracks going on. Oh, it's so good. It's a very nice kind of 80s that we're doing right here. I like this. So I guess as a player, like where do you think Artemis would end up? Like I know that Artemis is wandering aimlessly, but you get to direct yourself in the scene. So where do you think you go? I mean, I feel like you end up in a room with Leviathan, but that's up to you.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you find yourself, you wander around, and you walk through a doorway. It opens and closes, and you're standing in kind of a dark room, but there's a hexagon-shaped like platform of light. And in the middle of it, there's like a pillar with arms, and the arms have like chains and spiked balls or swords on them, and it's spinning around and like whirring and like shooting sparks and stuff. And in her like combat fatigues, currently engaged in a very aggressive fist fight with this robot, we see Leviathan. So she's like, we see her block the spinning arm of the thing with a fist, and then she just like punches it hard enough that its head breaks off, and the machine kind of sparks and starts to shut down. And she grabs a towel off the floor and like wipes her face, and turns her head in your direction unless you make an effort to like hide.
I use my stunt. No.
I mean, you just like fucking pull the ripcord. I'm out.
No, yeah. I think Artemis is awkward enough that she would walk up and notice Leviathan training and literally just like be awkwardly staring at her when she turns around.
Yeah. So she's got a knife in her other hand that she was using in the thing. So she's holding it, and she turns, like toweling off her forehead, and throws the towel over her shoulder, and she looks at you, and she makes a face that like seems like a bemused, I guess is the word for it, and she says, "Captain."
Please don't call me that.
Well, it's true, isn't it? You're in charge of the ship now.
Did I really get to choose that, though? I feel like that just kind of happened.
Don't you understand? That's how it works with you people. Command isn't earned. You just get it. Seems like it worked out perfectly. So she's walking up to you while she's talking.
You say you people, but it seems like that's how it works for you people.
Well, who do you think made us this way?
What do you mean?
We didn't get a choice. I mean, we're engineered to serve and serve violently and serve people like you. The Imperium made us this way.
I mean, I don't want it to be that way.
Well, can't always get what you want. And she says that with a like pained like subtext.
Yeah, I think she just kind of lets there be an awkward moment and then goes, all right, well, I won't keep you, and starts to walk away.
Okay. So I don't have to compel NPCs, but if I did, then I would be using just can't fight this feeling anymore. So you start to walk away, and she says to you, Artemis, wait.
Okay, I'll turn around.
She stabs you.
I fucking, the second you were like, she's holding a knife, I was like, I'm about to fucking.
Yeah. So she's like, Artemis, wait. And you turn around and you can see her eyes are a little glassy, and she just lunges forward to put the knife in you. It's not even like I'm attacking you. It's just like, hey, I have a knife. Blip. I'm trying to kill you with it.
Okay.
So what do you do?
I guess I'd try to dodge out of the way.
Okay. All right. So
I saw it in time.
yeah, let me roll. She's doing this forcefully. She just wants to stab you.
Who doesn't these days?
Yeah, right. All right. I got a 3.
I got a 4.
Okay. I'm going to use a fate point. I'm going to invoke Obsessed with Artemis to bump that up to a 5.
Great. I'll use Heartbreaker. I feel like that's
you still got a use of it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So here's the confusing thing. What is it about that stops you from getting stabbed?
What is it about Heartbreaker that stops me?
Yeah, like you're invoking Heartbreaker because that stops you from getting stabbed, because she's
Right.
not stabbing you out of like I want to kill you. She's just like she can't help herself. Like I think she even has a blank look on her face, like time to die. Here you go. I got you this knife.
Right.
Here, this for you.
Because I love you.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it like there's no situation in which Artemis isn't at least slightly on edge around Leviatha.
Mhm.
You know? Like
Okay.
like in a good or bad way. Like I think she would have been hyper aware of the fact that Leviatha is at the very least like still paying attention to her, right, as she walked away.
Okay. Cool. All right. So yeah. So that puts you at 6. So you're fine. So you just see it coming to some degree, and she just like goes to stab you and like is holding the knife and like looking at you like, hey, that you were supposed to get stabbed. That didn't. And she can tell something weird is going on. I mean, shit has been going weird for her for a long time.
Yeah.
When it comes to you. And I definitely wanna offer you a compel, but I can't decide, and maybe everybody else can help me decide. But I either want, what do you guys think is more fun? I either want Imperial Artemis to come out. I want the Mingasi part to be like, yes, we did make you to serve us. Stop being a piece of shit and do as I say, right? And like get all imperious. Or do the just can't fight this feeling anymore and have it be a more personal response that like you can't play nice with her anymore. However that comes out, it's like Artemis as a person is fed up enough with this situation that you have to take some serious like approach to it. What do y'all think?
I think
seems
it'd be
funky?
nice to see her get really serious, because Artemis has always been one that like is kind of a pushover. So to see like more of a formal like, no, stop, I
Yeah.
will pick you up would be like, whoa, what?
I think second one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mainly because I think Artemis would be fucking terrible at the first one.
Well, but the reason that I was suggesting the first one is that the first one, Artemis, like she said, Artemis doesn't have to be good at it. All Artemis has to do is just be like, drop the knife.
She did get memory zapped by the big brain.
Yeah, she's able to just be like, drop the knife, and Leviatha will, and then be like, go, like do what you're supposed to do. You can just straight up command her. So, yeah. But the other one is like we get to see what Artemis, because like I feel like Artemis, we were already kind of seeing that, right? Like I don't know, Dodger, do you think that is there some reaction that you can have that you're not already having that is more like real? Because I feel like Artemis is being pretty real with her.
She's had moments where she's tried to be very real with Leviatha, but because of the situation with, like biologically with them, it doesn't get through. So there's like frustration there, but a lot of.
Do you have a coin, Adam?
Yeah, right. Okay, well, yeah. I mean, I want the compel to be. I want to see what that looks like. You're pushed past your wits' end by all of his bullshit with Leviatha. I just want to see Artemis like snap. That's my suggestion. Is not try to play nice anymore. I'll let you decide how you want to do that. Do you want to take that, or do you want to just like get out of there? Which I think is Artemis's kind of like rational brain plan.
It's like just peace out. Yeah. Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay. All right. So what does it look like?
I guess like Leviatha goes to stab her and she dodges out of the way and she's like, Leviatha, what are you doing?
And she just looks at you and looks at the knife like, I'm trying to give you this knife. Shouldn't say that, but she just kind of holds it like, come here and just let me stab you.
Leviatha, I don't know what to do. I seriously don't know what to do because like
and like she looks a combination of like frustrated and emotional, and just reaches and kind of like forcefully like takes the knife from her and drops it on the ground.
Okay.
And
yeah, I don't think she fights back. I think you just take it out of her hand and like drop it on the ground. She just kind of like looks at you.
And she's like, I'm frustrated because I want to help you, and you're strong and beautiful and incredible, but I can't talk to you and have it get through. Do you know how frustrating that is? Do you know what that feels like? Like, just kind of.
Yeah, like, hey, idiot. Like, listen to me. Okay.
What is? Hold the phone. Can I compel obsessed with Artemis that Artemis or that Leviatha actually flips it back on you because of the emotion gas and gets like real with you, like not stabby real, like emotional. I've never felt emotions before real. Like, cause you're like, do you know how this feels? Do you know how it feels to be me? And I want her to be like, do you know how it feels to be fucking me, yo?
Right. I'll take that. Totally. Yeah. So you say that and she kind of like, she looks at you and, it's funny because she's very, very vulnerable, but everything about her appearance is like, I'm going to destroy anything that gets in my way. But she's like super weak in this moment, right? Like her face markings that look like mascara in tears are very fitting for this moment. And she looks at you, and she says, "Yeah, you think you have it hard. Ever since I met you, I can't stop thinking about you, and half the time I want to strangle you to death, and the rest of the time I just want to strangle you to death, but like in the other way. And every word you say is like cuts me to my core, and I can't do anything but listen every time you open your stupid gold mouth. And I just want to follow you around and do whatever you say and kill your enemies for you and bathe you in their blood. All right? And I can't think about anything else." And she's just like looking at her hands, and she says, "I can't get away from you. I can't escape. I'm trapped."
I know. And that's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair that that's how you're feeling. And I'm going to fix it, okay? But I just need you to trust me, and I know that that's really hard. Okay?
She says, she shakes her head and she says, "No, I can't be around you, but I can't leave. There's only one way you can make this any better. You You have to tell me to go away. You have to command me to leave. Otherwise, I never will.
I can't do that, Leviathan. That would be like using this. I can't.
Yeah. And so she like grabs her hair and like kind of falls on the deck. She's like, wow, why? I hate you.
Oh God. Okay, fine. I'll try. Okay.
Okay. She looks up and and like looks up at you. Expectantly.
Right. Okay. Oh, I feel like this is a genie situation where if I say this wrong, then I'm never going to see you again. So, fuck. Shit. I don't know how to do this.
Yeah, and she's just looking up at you with like big tear-filled eyes, like she has no power in this situation, and all of your floundering is just like making her up worse. Yeah. I mean, you have it within you, right? And I think that's the thing, right? Is that you are feeling there is this deep well of commanding power inside of you, this golden light that once spanned the universe. It is in your genetics to tell lesser creatures what to do. And you see her before you both as a person that you recognize that has feelings and agency, but as a sniveling servant, right? That was generated from raw material.
There's the lizard in the back of my head that's like,
right? And you know. Well, yeah, and you know that she will do anything that you command her to because that's what she was made for. She's not a person. She's an implement. So there's this balance between the two, and I don't know. Do you want to try to you could try to tap into that imperious power, but temper it with your Artemis softness? I guess what would Artemis be doing in this situation? Like, how would you deal with that situation?
She's really scared that the way that she puts this is going to create a situation where Leviathan will literally like be commanded to never be around her ever again. Mm-hmm. So she's like trying to figure out how to say it. And I think finally settles on, okay, Leviathan, and like looks her right in the eye, says, Leviathan, go to your living quarters and stay there.
And she stands up, and something about her like body language has changed. And she just nods sternly and turns and walks out.
That's what Artemis does. Just like feels super grossed out. But
okay,
it's okay. She asked me to do that. That was
sure.
It's good. It's a good.
Yeah, the person
later.
the person that doesn't have any ability to like have self-control or will around you asked you to do something, but. All right, so she leaves, and you are left alone in the dojo. Her knife lying on the ground. So meanwhile, Rex, you storm off looking for the like canteen.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I don't think that you find it. I think that you end up in the. I have
quite the sense of smell, Adam.
I believe that you are driven here by a purpose, but we'll figure out what that is. You find yourself in the hangar bay. You walk out into it, and we see all the Agaran ships, the fighter ships, all kind of laid out in front of you. It's pretty much abandoned. There isn't anyone around.
Okay.
And you walk in and you just have an eerie sense of having been drawn here for something.
Say the canteen. Looking around.
Okay.
He's kind of scratching his head, hand on his head.
Yeah. You see when you look around, one of the shuttles, like the little fighters, has been brought down from its like rack, the doors are open, and there are some sitting around outside. There are some containers, like cargo containers. They look like they're midway through being loaded. Like someone is prepping this shuttle to leave.
Okay. Are any of I won't expect them. Are any of them good eats?
You walk over. Yeah, it does look like someone is getting ready to go on a very long like space journey. And so there are like rations and like extra environment filters, all the kinds of things you would need to be away from civilization for a long time.
Okay. Rex sees like an air sealed like steak, like a big steak.
Right. Yeah.
And he kind of pries the box open and rips it out and kind of rips the top off. And just takes a big bite.
Okay. Yeah, I think that you dig into it. You're hunger voracious, and as you're chowing down on this vacuum sealed steak, you look up, and you see Thuja, and she's staring at you, and she says, "Always trying to take what's mine."
Rex kind of raises an eyebrow and like takes another bite, and he's got like blood running down his chin, and he's like, "That's how you liked it."
And she says, "That's the thing you never understood, Rex. After all this time, after all these years," and she's like taking out her pistol. She's got her like laser blaster whenever she's taking it out, and she says, "The one thing that always belonged to me," she points it at you, is she points her blaster at you. She says, "Is your pasty white sharkanoid ass." And she grins, and she says, "You're gonna make me fire a warning shot, or you're gonna come over here and kiss me?"
Rex takes another bite, and his eyebrow raises again, and he's like, "You better not miss."
Yeah, and I think she shoots the steak out of your hand, so like you're holding it, and then it's just turns into like sizzling air, and she says, "I thought you weren't supposed to eat a half an hour before you go swimming."
I hate this.
Rex, he looks at his hand, and he's like, "I guess it's time for the second course."
I wonder how long we could just one-liner at each other like that.
Yeah.
And I'm in the background just like, no. I'm out.
You did this.
Like, no.
You did this.
What have I done? Oh.
Yeah, this is you for sure. So I mean, yeah, I think that we fade on that scene. Some things never change, and the ship and its soon-to-be captain get one more moment of action before she takes off, and we can have a post scene with you and her later. But yeah, we fade out on her like pointing the gun at you flirtatiously, and you covered in meat juice like, "Come over here." And then
how it ends is you see a control panel in the main deck, and it comes up flashing, and it says "Damage to hangar bay."
Yeah, totally. Yeah, the hangar bay damage indicator just like boot boot boot, like critical damage.
Yeah, they're trashing the place.
Awesome. Fantastic. All right, so Luna, do you have someone that you're going in particular? You wanted to. The whole purpose of all of this was to get Emperor Darkthrone to like kind of lose his shit. Are you headed for him?
I mean, I would say I'm headed to where the others are. Hopefully, at this point, she's kind of like pissed off. Half the Agarans are emo. And they're doing whatever they're doing their emo poetry, and they're crying, and they're giving each other pats on the back, and she's just like the opposite of what she usually is. So she's just like angry, and she's like she hates them all. Like she just hates them all, and she can't stand them because they're like below her because they're so primal and so I'd say that she's just trying. Now she just wants to go. She just wants to get out. She can't, and so she I would say that she goes to the cockpit where the bridge, wherever.
Okay. All right. So Basil, you hear you're lost in reverie for a while, and then you hear the door open to the bridge. And yeah, the bridge is abandoned, except Luna, you see Basil standing looking out at the curling kind of gold foil remnants of Xanadu's outer shell. There's a body lying on the floor next to him. And the room is dark, lit mostly by the burning remnants of the planets, kind of filtering in through the front screen.
I walk up to the body and take out a syringe and take a sample of the blood. I don't even ask him about it. I just go up, I take a sample of the blood, and I'm like, so, are we leaving soon?
What do you do with all those?
It doesn't matter.
Matters to me. What do you do with all those?
Have you looked in a mirror lately?
I'd rather not.
I don't blame you. Well, a lot of people are going to be seeing the same thing as you when they look in the mirror, so.
Why?
Listen, it's not a big deal. It doesn't matter. I just want to get off. I want to get out of here. I want us to go somewhere and get the hell away from these people.
Apparently does matter if you're willing to do it so much. Why? Why are you doing
Listen. No. You know what? These people, they're absolutely awful. They're awful to be around. I don't want to be around them anymore. It doesn't. I put the syringe in my satchel.
With all the other ones?
Yeah.
Sounds to me like you've got problems.
I just slowly turn up and like look at Basil and I'm like, oh really? I mean, pot, meat, kettle. I think all of us have a little bit going on.
Oh, you're right. It's just nice to know I'm not alone.
I mean, you should have known that from the beginning. Have you seen our leader? And his little friend.
He's a mess. That's true. But it wasn't until recently I discovered I had problems myself. You see, I thought I had everything worked out, but I didn't.
And what's that?
Well, I, like you, want to change things. For the better, I hope.
And what kind of change are we talking about?
Well, much like your change, one that will never happen. So get used to disappointment, kid.
I mean, I wouldn't say never. I mean, there are things that are improbable, but I wouldn't say never. Depends on what you're talking about, though.
I'd say never.
Oh, yeah? Well, tell me.
I have a computer brain. Never.
Are you sure? I mean, what? Come on. And I like take on the whole like pseudo counselor approach. I'm like, no. Tell me what is this thing? What's bothering you? What can you never do?
Nothing's bothering me. I'm fine.
Maybe
I've
we
accepted
make it happen.
Oblivion. I don't understand why you can't accept Oblivion. You're so eager to make more of you.
Oh, is that what you think? I'm just trying to make everyone me.
Yes, it's very obvious. You almost said so.
I mean, just because I like looking at a bunch of me.
I don't think that's it at all.
Oh, okay. Now we're getting somewhere. What is it then?
What you think? What I think you think?
Exactly. You're the one with the computer brain. Let's go.
Sometimes I wonder whether you do think.
Fair point. I mean, right now I don't know what's going on. I feel like what I did worked a little too well. Worked on me as well.
What did you do exactly?
It doesn't matter. You don't want to know.
It does matter. It mattered to you. You keep saying it doesn't matter. Why do you say that?
I'm just not feeling myself right now. There's a lot going on and up in here, and I'm just not. You know, you ever just have those days where you feel off? That's what I feel right now, and it's my fault. It's all my fault, and there's nothing I can do about it until we get off this ship. You know, land, let it air out a little bit, clean the air. You know.
Yes, I can tell. And how does all this make you feel?
Like I want to get out of here, or we should just, or everybody on the ship. I wish they would just disappear. That'd be great. I'm tired. Have you walked through the ship lately in the last 30 minutes?
So, why do you think none of this matters then? You seem very excitable. Seem like you have a purpose and a goal. Why don't you think this matters?
I don't think I'm going to reach my goal either. I think that the chances are close to never. So this goal that I've been trying to go along and trying to find the answer to, it's just, I don't think it's going to happen. It seems like I don't have the right opportunities, and I'm not allowed to return home until I get it.
Basil walks up to you and puts his hand on your shoulder and like looks at you in the eyes, and his eyes, while completely and totally devoid of all life, for some reason deep inside, there's like this like acknowledgement and acceptance. Is like, yeah, you know what? We're all gonna fail, because that's what life is. Life is a series of failures, and we all suck. And he's just like, and now you understand. That's why I like you, because you're miserable too.
Who has the apple right now? Where's the apple at? I feel like Luna has it.
I have it.
Yeah,
Rex has it. Okay.
Rex has it. Yeah.
That's right. Okay. Luna had it and gave it to us. Okay. All right. Good.
Good.
Well, perhaps
I mean,
we can come up with another plan then, Basil.
Do you think we could come up with one together? A fun plan?
I think we should.
I think we should too. One that accepts we're going to fail. There's so much failing to do.
I agree with you. You know, I'm prepared. I'm prepared to fail now.
Right, you both. I love that you're both lining up those aspects. Like everything sucks and prepared to fail, and it's like, all right, let's drive this burning train wreck off a cliff. So good. Excellent. Okay. Well, rather than like stick around while the two of you commiserate and make up your evil plan, I think we probably like fade. But if the two of you want to come up with a commiseration of an evil plan, please feel free to do so. But we fade out. And Artemis, where are you? You've sent Leviatha away to her quarters, and you are burdened with the responsibility of command. What are you gonna do? Or do you just hide?
I like, after telling her to go to her room, I found somebody and instructed them to like check in on her, to like make sure that she was eating and going to the bathroom and all that kind of stuff.
Just standing in her room.
And then I think, yeah, this ship is like a terrible rock and roll maze. So I'm just, I think sort of just kind of like still meandering around, but I know that I should make my way toward the bridge probably.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, by the time you get there, I think Luna and Basil have disappeared. So you walk up onto the bridge, and you see the throne surrounded by guitars. You see the remnants of Xanadu all burnt and destroyed. The big throne, the command throne, and then like a dead guy just lying on the floor.
When I see the dead guy,
his head's all turned all the way around.
Yeah, just kind of like scooch him.
Mm-hmm. Just push him under a console. Yep. Okay.
I want to see if I can understand everything that's on like the console.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you sit down, and that part of the back of your brain, that Imperial Artemis, like whispers to you, and you sit down, and there's like a little jolt of like dopamine, right? There's a little like
This is
like
where
a
I'm
little,
meant
like,
to be.
good, sit upon the throne. And so you sit down and like put your arms on the chair and look around, and it's like, yeah. And the command console appears in front of you, and yeah, you have full access to the ship systems, its weapons, it's the penetration drive, all that jazz.
Okay. I don't know where we need to go is the problem.
Yeah, and that is the question. Like, what does Artemis want? Captain Artemis of the Storm of Light's Bane. You have this ship and all of its weapons and its crew at your command. What do you want to do with them?
I think there's a combination. I think a combination happens in this moment where it's like nobody can tell me not to go anywhere.
True.
Like I'm running this ship, and then like actual normal Artemis deep inside being like obsessed with this idea of kind of running away and living my own life. Mm-hmm. And I think she just like aims it in a direction and fucking like warp speeds. It's just like a random direction.
Okay. So I think the thing is you have to set in a course. So you could just like spin the wheel and hit a random planet and be like,
yeah, I want to do the equivalent of like spinning the globe and being like, I'll go here.
Okay. Yeah, sure. So yeah, we see a list of systems, and you just press. There's like a shuffle button on the console, and you just hit shuffle, and it goes through all the
perfect
systems.
moments.
Yeah. Exactly, because you never know. You just want to run away somewhere. Yeah. And so we see it shuffle through, and it picks one, but we don't get to see what it is because Artemis isn't looking at it. Right. Blinks a couple of times, and then like the console changes to like destination locked in big scary Agaran runes, but we get the subtitles. Everyone on the ship, you feel like a sudden jolt as the ship penetrates subspace and disappears. And we see it vanish, leaving the field of sort of ruin behind. And I think that we stay, instead of jumping back to the ship and following those things, we stay with the debris field, and we pan over to one of the planets. It's like a cracked chunk of this planet that's all burning and ruined, and we slowly pan down. And we change shots to a close up of an island of burning rubble, of rock with like smoke and lava coming up out of it, and we see the sea around it boiling and toxic with a kind of like sulfurous color. And we hang on this moment, and there's a slow tension build of strings in the soundtrack, and then an enormous misshapen black flipper flops out onto the rock, and then a tiny mutated green hand and this hideous penguin elf creature pulls itself up out of the water, but not all the way, so we can see it kind of from the flippers down, and it turns and looks up at space, and we see the red flash of the penetration drive. And as we pan down to a close up of Maurice the mutant's face, Maurice says, mon ami, not so fast. And then from the water all parts as the rest of his bulk, his enormous, horrible, mutated, tentacle-covered bulk rises up out of the water, and we see that his upper torso is just attached to a much larger, horrific space monstrosity covered in eyes and tentacles, which launches itself up out of the water and into space to give chase.
Oh shit!
And we fade to break on that. So we'll come back and we'll see if Maurice catches up with Artemis and where they all end up. Don't go anywhere. We got 2 more hours of roleplay. Nebula Jazz coming at you right after this.
Yay!